You woke up 8 hours later and still felt like you hadn't slept. The alarm went off, and your first thought was already? You dragged yourself to the kitchen on autopilot. The coffee helped for about an hour. Then the fog rolled right back in. By 3 p.m. you were staring at your screen, reading the same sentence 4 times. You told yourself you'd go to bed early tonight. You said that last night too. And the night before that. Somewhere along the way, tired stopped feeling like a mood and started feeling like your baseline. If any of that sounds like your day, you're in exactly the right place. Because being tired all the time isn't a personality trait, and it's not something you have to just live with. I'm Milo, and today we're going to talk about what's actually draining your energy. Not the scary version, the honest, everyday version. And by the end, you'll have a handful of small, doable things you can start tonight. Here's the first one, before we go any further, so you get a quick win. Tomorrow morning, before you touch your phone, walk to a window and stand in the daylight for 2 minutes. That's it. No app, no gadget, no supplement. We'll get to why that tiny habit is such a big deal in a minute. But first, let's talk about the part most people skip. Because the reason you're tired usually isn't the reason you think it is. Most of us assume tiredness is a sleep problem. Just get more hours and you'll feel great. But if you've ever slept 9 hours and still woken up exhausted, you already know it's not that simple. Tiredness is really a signal. Your body is telling you something is off in your daily rhythm. And the fix is almost never one big change. It's a handful of tiny ones stacked together. Let's start with the biggest one, because it changes everything else. Your body runs on a roughly 24-hour internal clock. Scientists call it your circadian rhythm. Think of it as your inner conductor, telling your energy, hormones, and hunger when to rise and fall. When that conductor is confused, every section of the orchestra plays out of tune. And the number one thing that confuses it is inconsistent light. Not just at night, also in the morning. Bright light in the morning is a signal to your body that says, clearly, the day has started. Without that signal, your body kind of shrugs and stays in low-power mode for hours. That's why the 2-minute window trick works so well. You're giving your inner clock a strong, clear, good morning. If you can step outside, even better. Outdoor light is far brighter than any indoor bulb. You don't need to sit there and meditate. Sip your coffee, water the plants, walk to the corner and back. Now here's the flip side, and this is where a lot of us quietly sabotage ourselves. The same eyes that respond to morning light also respond to light at night. Bright screens right before bed tell your body it's still daytime. Your inner clock gets a mixed signal, and your sleep gets shallower without you noticing. You might still sleep 8 hours, but the quality drops. And low-quality sleep feels almost identical to too little sleep the next day. So, the fix is small. Dim the room in the last hour before bed. Lower the overhead lights, switch to a lamp, turn your phone brightness way down. You're not banning screens. You're just softening the signal. Try it for 3 nights and notice how your body feels different in the morning. Okay, next big drink, and this one surprises people. It's not caffeine, it's water. Mild dehydration feels almost exactly like tiredness. Brain fog, low mood, a heavy head. Most of us walk around slightly dehydrated all day without realizing it. You don't need a fancy bottle or a strict schedule. Just put a glass of water next to your bed and drink it before you drink anything else. Then keep a bottle at your desk. Refill it when it's empty. Small habit, big return. You'll feel it by the afternoon. Here's a quick, honest note before we go further. If you've been feeling wiped out for weeks and nothing you try helps, please check in with a doctor. Real fatigue can have real medical causes, and those deserve a professional look, not a YouTube video. Everything we're covering today is general wellness, small habits, not treatments. Okay, back to it. Let's talk about the middle of your day. Because the way you eat lunch might be doing more to your energy than you realize. Ever eaten a big lunch and then wanted to nap under your desk? That's not a character flaw. That's your blood sugar rising and crashing. A meal that's mostly refined carbs, think white bread, chips, sugary drinks, gives you a fast spike. Your body handles the spike and then dips low. That dip is the afternoon crash. The fix isn't dieting, it's just balance. Try adding some protein and some fiber to whatever you're already eating. An egg on your toast, a handful of nuts with your sandwich, beans in your rice. You don't have to overhaul lunch. Just don't leave it as pure sugar and starch. You'll notice the 3 p.m. slump gets quieter. Now let's talk about the one that no one wants to hear about. Moving your body, but not the way you're thinking. I'm not telling you to hit the gym at 6 a.m., please, no. I'm talking about tiny movement scattered through your day. If you sit for 8 hours straight, your body starts acting like it's off duty. Blood pools, circulation slows, energy drops, and your brain follows. The fix is almost embarrassingly simple. Get up every hour or so. Walk to the kitchen. Stretch your arms above your head. Roll your shoulders. One trick I love is what I call the one-song walk. Put on a song you like and walk around while it plays. That's it. 3 or 4 short bursts of movement across the day can outperform one long workout for daytime energy. You're not training for anything. You're just reminding your body it's alive. And here's a small identity moment for you, because I know some of you needed to hear this. If you're the kind of person who feels guilty for being tired, please let that go. Being tired isn't laziness. It's information. Your body is giving you a signal, not a scolding. The whole point of these habits is to listen to that signal and answer it gently. Okay, let's talk about the invisible energy drain almost no one names. Stress, but not the dramatic movie version. The low, steady hum kind, the kind that runs in the background all day. Deadlines, notifications, mental to-do lists, the news, group chats. Your body doesn't know the difference between a real threat and a buzzing phone. It responds to all of it with the same low-grade alertness. And that low-grade alertness costs energy, a lot of it. You can't remove stress from modern life, but you can give your nervous system little off-ramps. The simplest one is just breathing on purpose for 2 minutes. Not fancy breathing, just slow in through your nose, longer out through your mouth. Do it before lunch. Do it before a hard email. Do it in the car before you walk inside. You'd be shocked how much energy your body was spending just being on edge. Here's a curiosity loop I promised earlier, and now it's time to pay it off. Most people think their evenings are where they recover. Bath, TV, scroll, sleep. But if your evening is where energy leaks the fastest, mornings will always feel impossible. Your evening isn't a reward, it's the setup for tomorrow. And a good evening doesn't have to be strict or joyless. It just needs a soft edge, a signal that the day is ending. Dim the lights, as we talked about. Put your phone across the room. Read a few pages of something. If your brain is racing, write the top 3 things on your mind on paper. Once they're on the page, your brain stops holding them for you. That alone can be the difference between falling asleep in 10 minutes and lying awake for an hour. And I'd genuinely love to hear which of these you're going to try first. Drop it in the comments, no wrong answer. I read them, and honestly, sometimes your ideas make it into the next video. Alright, let's talk about caffeine, because I know you were waiting for this one. I'm not anti-coffee. I love coffee. This isn't that video. But when you drink, it matters more than how much you drink. Caffeine hangs around in your body for hours, longer than most of us assume. A cup at 3 p.m. can still be in your system when you're trying to fall asleep at 10 p.m. Not enough to feel wired, just enough to make your sleep lighter. And lighter sleep means a more tired tomorrow, which means more coffee, which means the loop tightens. The fix isn't quitting, it's timing. Try to have your last cup by early afternoon. Some people do fine with an earlier cutoff, some later. Notice how you feel after a few days. Your body will tell you. Now, one more energy leak that quietly runs in the background. Under-eating protein early in the day. Many of us start with something sweet or starchy. Pastry, cereal, a granola bar. By 11 a.m., we're hungry, foggy, and reaching for more coffee. Adding a bit of protein to breakfast, eggs, yogurt, nut butter, tofu, leftovers, whatever you like, steadies the whole morning. It's not about a rigid meal plan. It's about a slightly stronger foundation. Small change, real difference. Let's also talk about something soft and often overlooked: connection. Feeling lonely or disconnected shows up in the body as fatigue. We're wired to be around people we like. Even a small dose helps. A short call with a friend, a short walk with a neighbor, a quick chat with a coworker. You don't need a social life makeover, just a few small touches of connection across the week. You'll feel the lift. Okay, we've covered a lot. Let's pull it into something you can actually use tomorrow. Not all at once. That's a trap. Pick 2 things from today, just 2. Maybe morning daylight and a glass of water by your bed. Or maybe an earlier caffeine cutoff and a dim lights before bed routine. Try them for 1 week. Notice which shifts. Then, only when those feel automatic, add 1 more. Small, stacked, and gentle beats. Big, sudden, and strict every single time. Because the truth is, you're not broken. You're not lazy. You're not falling apart. You're just running a modern life on a body that's still built for a much simpler one. These little habits are just tiny bridges between the two. And if any of this made you feel a little more understood today, I'm really glad you're here. If you want more of this kind of no-pressure wellness talk, gentle, doable, honest, go ahead and subscribe. Give this video a like if it was helpful, and share it with someone who's been dragging lately. I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourself, one small habit at a time.